Welcome back to the Creatives Do Business Well podcast, a space of co-creation for solo creative entrepreneurs just like you, craving that transition from being a struggling artist to a successful creator. Keisha Andrea here. I'm your host, your multi-passionate business sister, and photographer turned holistic brand and content strategist. I tie branding, content creation, systems, and scaling your business back to everyday life. And my goal is to help you not only run a business, but find that sweet balance between your passion and profits and doing business as a creator exceptionally well. I'm starting a special bonus series called Go with the Flow, Then Get to Business. This is my way of integrating wellness with our creativity and our businesses and way for us to do a check-in with ourselves. These are going to be extra episodes posted outside of our usual Wednesday schedule that gets deeper into energy, embodiment, and entrepreneurship and how they all work together. And you might hear some kids playing in the background. Hey, we got to do what we got to do and get this recorded. This first episode, of course, is called What Do Chakras Have to Do with Business? Now, I already know what you're probably thinking. Chakras and business? Stick with me because what I'm about to share might explain some things you've been feeling lately but haven't had the words for it. So first of all, let me explain the series. When I say go with the flow, I want you to work with your energy, but more specifically, the chakras, your body's 7 energy centers. And when I refer to your energy, I'm simply talking about how you feel in your body, in your mind, your mood, your emotions, your stress levels, your confidence, and your overall state of well-being, which is why Creatives Do Business Well exists. Of course, we want to do business well in the way of financial abundance. As solopreneurs and single business owners, we have to check in with ourselves because if we're not holding well, then our businesses won't exist. We all know what it feels like to have low energy days where everything's a struggle versus the high energy days where work feels easier. Doing a quick check-in with the chakras, or for anybody who doesn't know, these 7 centers in your body affect everything from how you feel about money to how creative you are to how confident you speak about your work. When these centers are blocked or out of balance though, you have some problems in business. Even if you're doing all the right business strategies, when the centers are open and flowing, your work is going to be more effortless. And through all of this series, we're going to go through each of the chakras and how they directly affect how you show up, how you make money, and how you feel about your business. Click the link in the show notes to take my free report card so you can get back in flow and get back to loving your business. It's a do-it-yourself evaluation or quiz of some sort where you get a grade based on how you respond. You get to see which of those energy centers or chakras might be holding you back from succeeding and having a successful business. After you complete the report card, you have a detailed walkthrough of what you can do to unblock each of those chakras and improve in each specific area to create a business that doesn't sacrifice your well-being. And then you'll have a special opportunity to join the first level of Creatives Do Business Well membership. We're launching this membership in phases. Altogether, there's going to be 4 phases. The first phase is all things creativity and wellness and creative expression. And the second phase is all things branding. The third part of Creatives Do Business Well is all things marketing and content creation. And lastly, all things systems and scaling your business. And this is the actual suggested path throughout the membership. I felt pressured to try to release all of them at one time, and it wasn't working out because I'm just one person. So I decided to roll this membership out in phases over the course of this whole year, 2025, and it's kind of like levels. The reason why I put it in phases like this is because so many people get caught up in content creation and branding and getting the photos and getting the logo and the colors and making a certain amount of money in business, trying to get this 6-figure goal or something like that, but they aren't really in tune with themselves or their creativity. So it makes it difficult to do all of these things. So I'm doing my due diligence by leading you through all of these paths. So you'll be getting a lot more information as the year goes on about how you can join us in these different phases and Creatives Do Business Well. And join me while this thing grows with the special founding member rate. All of that information is going to be linked in the show notes. So let me tell you about how I even came up with this series. A few months ago, I started having this sharp shooting pain I thought was sciatica, and it hurt so much I could barely sit at my desk to work, sit in bed, or sit up straight sometimes. And I had this pain shooting down my thighs. And that's a problem when you have your whole business that relies on you showing up. It went on for at least a month. At the exact same time, though, I was completely obsessed with money worries in my business. From the moment I opened my eyes until I fell asleep, all I could think about was money. How am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to get this done? How am I going to get my next customer or keep this roof over my head? And this only made the pain worse. I started working on my fears about money and my feelings of not being financially secure. And I started to do EFT tapping, and I created a whole dashboard on this, co-creating with abundance. And it helps you work through your relationship with money. When I started working on this, it started getting a little better. And I know for some of you, it's like, okay, well, you need to go to a doctor. It didn't just get better, it was completely gone, and it hasn't come back since. My money problems didn't go away, but me dealing with that, the pain never came back. That's when I started realizing what was happening. Our bodies are trying to talk to us all the time, and typically any physical pain always manifests from spiritual or mental issues. So in that moment, I saw that money, the stress, and the physical pain had something to do with what was going on inside of me, how I was handling things. That sciatica, it was directly connected to my root chakra that deals with feeling safe, supported, and secure. When I calmed down the mental stress, the physical symptoms followed after that, and they went away. I wasn't even thinking about connecting chakras in this way to my work at first. A couple of years ago, I went through a chakra cleanse with a sister in my community, Arba, or Yolanda as she goes. And this cleanse, oh my God, it was life changing. It was one of the best spiritual experiences on my journey. So much so that I took this cleanse twice, and I would do it again as soon as she is ready to do it again. It's a great reset, but I'm so deeply involved with my work and creativity. And through that, I found myself naturally looking for ways to apply what I learned about the chakras to my business too. All of this was new to me. I'm one of those baby spiritualists that found out about these things through the pandemic. We have to admit that was one of the best times to be alive and get in tune with ourselves, aside from the tragedy that was happening and how many people lost their lives. But I had to find a way to use the chakras in my work, in my business, with my creativity. And there wasn't much that I can find on it from people who looked like me. So here we are. I saw this as a great opportunity to create something that I can use when I get stuck in business and share with you. If you have a solo or creative business, anytime you get stuck and you want to check in with yourself. And we'll get into what the chakras actually have to do with business, but I'm going to check in with you to let you know that we continue the conversations on Substack. The podcast is hosted on Substack, but you are probably listening in anywhere. But I want to invite you to come over to Substack so we can continue the conversations with every single podcast. I create a version that you can read, and there's a little bit more that you can take with you from those readings. So make sure you go over to Substack and check in there. So what does the chakras have to do with your creative business? In short, everything. Your business and your personal life are not separate. One thing I really can't stand is when people say, don't mix your business with personal. Like, who are you talking to? You can't be talking to people like me. People who are raising kids while building a brand. People who are healing from burnout and still trying to create content at the same time. People who are figuring out who they are and how to make money from their gifts at the same time. People who want their work to mean something, not just make money, but actually feel aligned. When you're a creative, a service provider, a healer, a coach, or a creative of any kind, your business is personal. It's personal when your energy is off and you can't show up how you want to. It's personal when you are choosing between rest and recording that podcast episode, that YouTube video, that TikTok. It's personal when you have tied your work to how much engagement you get on the social social media posts. It's personal when your business is your only source of income and you're still trying to be present with your family, care for yourself, pour into your community all at the same time. So no, we don't leave personal at the door. We integrate it. We build and flow. We align. Because if we don't create a business that works with our life, we'll always feel like we're failing in both of those. Hence the name, Do Business Well, not separating who you are from what you do and making space for both to thrive. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that on days when you're stressed, tired, or anxious, your work suffers as well? Maybe you procrastinate more, maybe you make careless mistakes, or you find it hard to be creative. That's because your mental and emotional state directly impacts your work. If you're stuck creatively, undercharging, overwhelmed, or watching other people blow up while you're going crazy behind the scenes, the solution to the problem isn't just a better marketing strategy or learning more skills. Sometimes the real thing holding you back is something inside of you, like your confidence, your past traumas, your sense of safety, or your ability to set boundaries. We live in a world that teaches us to fix outside problems with outside actions, need more clients, run more ads, make more posts for social media, show up 3 times a day. If you're not making enough money, create another offer. But what if the real solution starts on the inside? I want to help you get to the root to see what's really keeping you from feeling that ease in your business, being visible, and making the income that you deserve. We try to separate our work self and who we are at home. We think that we can somehow put our worries, stress, and negative thoughts in a box when we sit down to work. But your work mirrors your inner state. When you're constantly worried about money, root chakra, you charge too little. When you're afraid to speak up, throat chakra, nobody hears about any of your services. When you don't believe in yourself, solar plexus, you act like you're not as good as everybody else. The typical advice like just work harder, get out there, get on your job, you got to be active, doesn't help because it doesn't deal with those deeper issues. It's like putting a small band-aid on a cut that really needs stitches, or sometimes even surgery. So this is what we're doing. We are doing surgery on ourselves and our businesses. I've seen it in so many creative people working hard without making more money, watching others succeed while doing less work, sabotaging themselves just when things start to go well, saying, I know what to do, I just don't do it, feeling completely worn out from constantly pushing against something that you can't see, trying quick fixes that work for a little bit, but then you still have the same problem. Let's break down how these 7 centers actually show up in your day-to-day work and what happens when you don't address them. And I won't go over all of them. That's what the rest of this series is going to be. Each episode is going to be dedicated to each of the chakras, but we'll go over a few. Your root chakra sits at the base of your spine, right? And it connects to your feelings of feeling safe and feeling secure. Essentially, this is your most basic needs like financial stability and physical safety. When this area is out of balance, you're afraid to charge what you're worth. You go through extreme ups and downs in your business. Super busy one month, crickets on the next. You make decisions out of fear and panic. You wake up worried about bills, which makes it hard to focus on your actual work. And you can't seem to build anything stable because you're always putting out fires. When you don't address these root level issues, you stay trapped in financial insecurity. No matter how hard you work, your pricing stays too low, your income remains unpredictable, and the stress can even show up as physical pain in your lower back or your legs, just like what happened to me. Your sacral chakra lives in your lower belly area or your womb, and it relates to your creativity, enjoyment, and personal boundaries. So when this area is out of balance, you can find yourself staring at a blank screen when you need to create something, or saying yes when you really want to say no. You feel resentful towards clients, but you keep doing the extra work anyway because this is something that you quote unquote love. Creative work you used to love now feels like a chore. You feel completely drained at the end of every single day. When these issues go unaddressed, your creativity continues to suffer. You might meet deadlines, but you hate the process. Your boundaries are weak, so you resent everybody and everything. And the joy that made you start your creative business keeps fading away. And last one we'll go over really quickly. Your solar plexus occupies your upper stomach area that governs your sense of personal power, your confidence, and your identity. When that's out of balance, you feel like a fake or a fraud. Even when you're good at what you do, you can't make a decision without asking 10 people first. You minimize your achievements and expertise. You let customers tell you how to do your job. Even when you know better, you're terrified of standing out or being visible. If you don't address these confidence issues, you'll keep doubting yourself years into your business. You'll remain reactive instead of taking control of your situation, and you'll never fully step into being the expert that you truly are. And that's the first 3 centers. The other 4 connect to how you build relationships with clients, how you communicate your value, how you clearly see your vision, and how connected you feel to your purpose. These aren't just spiritual issues. They are showing up in your bank account. They are showing up in your relationships with your customers and in how you feel about your work every single day. When you address these internal blocks first, your external business naturally follows with less struggle and more ease. That's what I mean about go with the flow and then get to business. You don't have to be spiritual to go through this. You don't have to subscribe to anything. Think of this as a framework for understanding different aspects of yourself. Just be open to exploring how your thoughts, your feelings, and physical sensations might be affecting your business decision. Or you might just say you don't need to do this and you can just fix your strategy instead. But I see this all the time as a holistic brand and content strategist. If you've already tried multiple strategies and you still feel stuck, there's probably something deeper going on. There's been plenty of times that I have laid everything all out and gave them exactly what they need, got on calls, did check-ins, and by the time we got into those check-ins, nothing was done over a course of a month. How many times have you learned a new way to find customers or promote your work or worked with somebody to help you with your business and you still found yourself struggling with the same problems? That's because anything external really can't solve what's going on inside you. So this is what's coming and what you can expect from this series. Each week, I'll break down one of the 7 chakras and how it impacts your business, from your mindset and your money patterns to your creativity, confidence, communication, and leadership. And we'll start to work with the root chakra, covering how survival mode sneaks into your business decisions, why pricing often is something emotional, and ways to rebuild stability from the ground up. From there, we'll move up to the body, one energy center at a time. I'll share my own experiences and offer simple exercises to help you identify and clear your own blocks. I want to share what works for me and the reason why I'm able to show up now and really feel good about putting my work out into the world so you can find what works for you in practical ways. By the end of this series, you'll understand yourself and your business differently. You'll feel less stuck, more grounded, and more empowered to lead your creative business from a place of alignment. I'll also be sharing my complete program that's going to be inside of the first phase of Creatives Do Business Well membership, Business and Flow. This is a creative entrepreneur energy reset using the 7 chakras, which will take this work even deeper. So I'm not asking you to believe everything I say. I'm just asking you to listen with an open mind, try the simple exercises that I share, and notice what changes in both your work and your life. When you address these internal blocks first, your external business is going to naturally follow with less struggle and more ease. True sustainability in business isn't just about consistent income. You're creating work that doesn't drain you, that actually energizes you. That's why addressing these internal blocks matters so much. When you don't address these blocks, the consequences pile up over time. You might not even notice. You might find yourself years into your business still struggling with the same issues, wondering why nothing has changed, even though you have been working hard. I have been going through this for the last couple of years, and I finally feel on track and aligned. If this episode resonated at all, click the link in the show notes and grab your free copy of the Chakra Report Card. It's quick, simple, and easy based on what you're actually feeling and facing in your business right now. You're going to have ways to work through that area of your business to unblock that chakra. Then make sure you're following the podcast on Substack and coming in so we can continue these conversations. In the next episode, we're talking all about the root chakra and what it really means to feel safe, seen, and supported in your business. Until then, go with the flow and then get to business. See you in the next episode. Happy creating. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love loved today's episode, go ahead and show us some love and support by leaving a 5-star review. Catch up with me at Keishandra at Creates or Creatives Do Business Well. We want to reach more creatives like you, so be sure to tell your creative business friends and family about us. Don't just talk about it, be about it, and get out there and cultivate your gift and create the sustainable business you deserve.